Salutations. Welcome to another edition of OXYWORD. And I'm your host, Joel Wilborn. In this interview, we have a young lady who is currently incarcerated in the Washington Correction Center for Women. Now, she doesn't deny committing a crime, and she doesn't oppose being in prison. She accepts her sentence, and she accepts the fact that she did commit a crime. Now, this is a very unique case because she believes that her time has been served and she's ready to get out. And there really isn't too much that could be done to prevent people that commit crimes in the situation that she did. So to get a nice, interesting perspective on the current prison population, just watch this next interview. Okay, on the line, we have a young lady who is currently incarcerated. Will you state your name? Go ahead and state your name.
Oh, Melinda Barrera.
Okay, and you have something you would like to share with the audience. Go ahead.
Well, I have been in prison for 11 years on a murder 2 case, and I deserve to be here, you know. I actually did what they said I did. But in sitting in this prison for 11 years, I've taken advantage of every rehabilitation program, every schooling program. And at this point, 11 years in, I find that I'm just being warehoused. And there's many women just like me in the same position. And we sit back and we watch their quick releases, and we watch people that come in here for a year and a day, people that are doing not person-to-person crimes, not violent crimes. They're mostly drug offenders and little things like that. They come in here and they release them early with no rehabilitation, no treatment, no education. And they send them back out on the streets and expect them to actually succeed. And they expect the recidivism rate to drop. And that's not going to happen. I feel like it's time for the people who make laws, the people who draw up these bills, to really understand that the people in this prison, I can't speak for men's prison, I can only speak for here in my experiences, but the women in this prison, in WCCW and Mission Creek, that have been in prison for over 5-7 years, they have taken advantage of all the different programs, that have taken advantage of all the different classes, all the different treatments, all the different rehabilitation options. All those women are the ones that should be looked at for relief. Those are the women that would benefit society. They're the women that are ready to be early released. They're the women that could actually do something to drop the recidivism rate. Because the way it is right now with the people that they are currently letting out, the drug offenders, people are 80% likely to re-offend. And when you re-offend, you're coming straight back to prison. So you didn't really open a bed. You didn't really drop any money from the budget. You didn't really benefit the state. All you did was go hurt somebody else. And they're hurting because they're hurt themselves. They have no treatment. They haven't been rehabilitated. They haven't had any classes here because they can't get into classes here because they don't have over 3 years. So they don't even get the option to be helped if they want to be helped. They just get dropped here and let out. And I feel like it's time to look at the women who have actually done their classes, that have done everything that they should do to be let out. Those women could benefit society, I believe. And I believe that that would drop the recidivism rate. That's what I have to say today, Joel.
Okay, well, I have a few questions for you here.
Okay.
Now you
Okay?
say that you're in prison for murder.
Yes.
Now, when we think of prison and the people who are locked up in there, wouldn't you say that the type of people that we should keep out of society are those most likely to murder somebody? Or would you say that it doesn't matter what the crime is, as long as we can give proper rehabilitation and proper counseling and get them into programs that will help them? Do you think it matters what crime these people commit on who stays in prison?
I believe that it does matter, honestly. I've watched a lot of the people that are in here for only a couple years at a time that are sex offenders. They come in, they are predators on the young girls in here, and then they go out and they violate and they reoffend. So I don't believe anything I say should be subject to being applicable to people that are sex offenders. But the majority of the women in here for murder, such as myself, were defending themselves, abused by the person they murdered or someone else. And it was more of an automatic reaction. I don't know really why men kill, but living in here, I know why women kill. And women kill most of the time in self-defense. And once we take the time to get the mental health help, to kind of heal those wounds, that's when we're better for society. That's when I don't believe that there would be a threat of reoffense. Broken people hurt people, and once the people in here that are here for murder, like the women here get that help, that have enough time to get that help. And those are the women I'm referring to, like myself, Miss Starish. There's many, many people in here for those crimes that are never looked at for release, but they would actually do something with their release. They would do something to better society. It gives you a different view sitting in here.
Now, I'm sure you've heard the phrase, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Do you think
Yes.
there could have been something we as a society could have done for you to have prevented you from committing murder and going to prison?
In my specific case, I don't believe so, because in my specific case, I may not have pulled the trigger. I took 20 years to protect somebody that I loved who did pull that trigger. But in my specific case, I think that I was already so far just sick and codependent and not really living in reality that no, I don't believe anything could have been done that would have been different. I feel like a lot of people tried and I just didn't listen.
Now, do you think that we should make an effort to prevent people from committing crimes, or should we just go ahead and wait until after the crime has been committed and then work on it?
I feel like in the case of most of the women here, and myself included in that, something, I don't know exactly what, but something should be done to prevent the domestic violence, the pattern of abuses done on women, whether it be mental, physical, sexual, whatever it is. Like, society teaches women that they owe their life to a man, that they owe their life to be subjugated to men. And that's what we do, and then we get angry. So I believe the prevention would be changing the way society views women. And if a woman wants to subjugate herself to a man and that makes her happy, support that. If a woman is strong and wants to support herself, support that. I feel like it should be more individualized rather than as a society believing that women should be subjugated.
Okay, let's just focus on you specifically. What can we do to get you back in society where you won't reoffend and where you can possibly offer assistance for people that were in situations similar to yours?
At this point in my sentence, the only thing that could be done to make that happen is open the doors. Because, like, I'm not in a place where I would mentally be like that anymore. I'm in a place where I'm over 40. I'm ready to live my life, help others, and hope no one else steps in my place.
Now, would you be able to counsel people that are already locked up?
I already do that. I am a peer mentor and I educate women because I have a decent education prior to coming to prison. I spend a lot of time mentoring other women, teaching them basic skills, math, English. I was the TA for drafting here, which is it's a technical design program where you learn AutoCAD and Inventor and things. It's important that we stand up and help each other, and that's what I do.
Now, we've invested a lot of time and money in your incarceration. Would you say right now that that was worth the expense and the time that we put into you?
Would I say what?
Would you say that it was worth all the money and the time that we put into your rehabilitation? Would you say all that was worth it?
I would say up to a certain extent, about 8 years of my incarceration, yes, it was worth it. At this point, the money being spent to keep me in prison is wasted.
So right now, you feel that you're ready to get out. Like you said, you want them to open the door and let you out. And there's really nothing that you're gaining by staying in there from this moment on?
There's nothing that I would what?
There's nothing that you're gaining right now? Because you were saying earlier that the best way to help you is to open the doors and let you out. Because you've already reached your plateau. You've been rehabilitated.
Yes.
So by keeping you in there, by extending your sentence, we're just wasting our time and money, correct?
Correct, yes.
Now, if you were, let's say, the Secretary of the Department of Corrections, what changes would you make? Now, you said you didn't know much about the men's prison, but what changes would you make to the female population out there, the women's prisons?
I would enroll people in school the minute they get here rather than making them have over a year before they can even take a class. And I'm not talking about just GED school. I'm talking about teaching women a useful skill. Because a lot of the women that come here, they don't have any useful skills. They come in here, their parents were drug addicts. Everyone that they've known are drug addicts. They grew up in trap houses, and they don't have the knowledge to know how to brush their hair, get dressed, be clean even, and project themselves. And they don't have the confidence that it takes to project themselves and make them appealing as an applicant for a job. Those are the classes that girls should be taking when they come into this prison. Those are the classes that would get a short time at work.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Those are the classes that would ready them to be successful people in society.
All right, so would you be willing to talk to people on JPay or have them write you letters?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I would.
All right, at the end of this interview, I'll
You
post
have 30 seconds remaining.
your DLC number and the contact information so people could send you out a JPay in case they want to speak with you. Is there anything else you want to add
Okay.
before we end this call?
That I love my future wife and I love my children.
Okay, there you have it. Hopefully you'll consult with your friends and your family and maybe incarcerated people and see if there's something that you could do to assist folks in situations that's very similar to hers. If you'd like to contact her, I'll leave her contact information at the end of this video. You can go to jpay.com and connect with her, or you can go to AmericanQuittanceSociety.org and you could look her up, as well as some other folks that we've interviewed, and share your thoughts on the matter. Hopefully, we can reduce the prison population, we can prevent crimes from being committed, and we can get society back to a safe and secure environment. Of course, it's going to take all of us to work together, and we do need to open discussions, and we do need to make changes. So I'm hoping that you will join us, and if you have any questions or any comments, feel free to reach out. Let's work together, and let's make this world a better place for all of us and our families, and of course, the next generation.